Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina. Folks, I hope that you're enjoying your summer so far. I also hope that you're getting the chance to get out to one of our Lancaster City parks. I am on location once again at Rising Park. I'm at the Rising Shelter. And I want to thank Lancaster Parks and Recreation for giving me the opportunity and for being a sponsor. And I have a great couple of segments coming up with some awesome folks in the community. I'm going to have Millersport Sweet Corn Festival to talk about the things that they're going to have taking place and also the entertainment that they're going to have this year. Always the weekend right before Labor Day weekend, but John Yorde is going to share that with us here coming up in just a few minutes. But I also have a gal and also somebody from the Fairfield County Sheriff's Department that is going to talk with us about an event that's coming up, and it's for girls, and it's something about self-defense, which I think it's very important that kids, all kids, know some form of self-defense. For that matter, I think that hopefully everybody will do that. But I'm going to be back right here in just a minute. It's Tina with Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm a recovering addict. For 10 of the last 11 years, I've been struggling with addiction, homelessness, incarceration, and just loneliness. However, since getting clean this past year, I've accomplished more than I have in those 10 years combined. After attending outpatient counseling services, inpatient counseling services, living in a sober living house, and attending 12-step meetings, I've been able to regain control of my life and begin to achieve goals I've always dreamed of. Addiction can destroy lives in many ways. Whether you need help with childcare or financial assistance, everyone deserves a new beginning. Recovery supports are just that, supports for recovery. My life mattered. Your life matters too.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I always like having my Millersport Sweet Corn Festival fellas on with me. Dan Booz he was on last year with me, but this year I've got the man in charge, chairman of public relations and marketing, John Yorde. He is going to share with us about what's happening this year because they are having a Sweet Corn Festival.
We're having it.
By
we
golly,
don't care what happens now.
we want our corn. Yeah. we want corn.
Yep. I've had people try to hang me all year. You're going to have the corn fest? No. Well, you're going to have it this time. So.
Well, good.
Rest assured, folks, it's full bore. Everything that we did in the past, we're doing in the present and then some.
Awesome. Yeah, because you have something that you said took place last time, but folks didn't know about it, and that's going to be, we're going to jump right into the beer garden.
Okay, well, we found out that a lot of people like to come to the festival and have a cold beer. So we've set up a beer garden. It's all under control. We have deputy sheriffs on hand. They're standing there in case anybody gets rowdy, and we don't put up with that. So anyway, it's a way for the Lions Club to make some additional funds. And since things have been down so far with this COVID, all the nonprofit organizations are having trouble.
Right.
So, we don't want to be amongst those.
And that's perfect to go into talking about the Millersport Lions Club and what exactly the Sweet Corn Festival is all about, because you guys are the one that puts this on every year.
Well, if you don't know about the Lions Club itself, we are Knights for Sight. Helen Keller asked us back in 1912 or something to become Knights for Sight, and the Lions got on board, and that's all we do. So we raise money to try to eliminate blindness. If we have kids in school that need glasses, we provide them for them. We provide the test and all that to make sure that kid can see in school without any problems. So, but anything having to do with sight, we own pilot dogs. We have an eye research lab at Ohio State University. We have an eye bank. So we deliver eyes that have been donated. We'll get them across the country if need be. So like I said, anything having to do with vision, that's why we're there. And then, like I said, the other organizations cover just about anything that you can imagine.
Yeah, because the Millersport Sweet Corn Festival, it is your biggest fundraiser.
Yes.
And it is consisted of all of these other nonprofits that you're speaking of.
Yes.
Right, John?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the vendors that are out there, whether it's a school, of course, because there are some schools that are out there and they have their concession stand on the premises at the Corn Festival, as well as many, many others. How many vendors, nonprofit vendors,
Well,
do you
we
know
figured
about?
90 plus. I mean, the
Nice.
numbers aren't in yet, but at least 90 plus vendors will be there. Again, all nonprofit.
So come hungry. Come
Yeah.
out with some cash in your pocket to
Come
help
hungry,
the
come
nonprofits.
thirsty, come
Yeah, come to
come
to help.
wild. We don't care. Get some of that energy
come
out and
out.
burn out.
Aw. Well, and not only do you have all the vendors and food and drinks and things such as that, you also have rides for the kids,
Rides
right?
for the kids. There's a ride special on Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, the festival opens at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and at 6 o'clock we kick off our grand parade. But anyway, from on Friday or on Wednesday and Thursday, they offer ride discounts, a $2 off ride discount, and you can find that a lot of times in the newspaper. Different areas you can find it on our website, sweetcornfest.com. So get the $2 coupon. Money's important to you too. So get that coupon, come out for rides, and then on Friday there is nothing. There's no discounts. Everything is by the ticket. And then on Saturday again they'll have another. It won't be discounted, but at least they'll have the wristbands.
Are you going to have the competitions that you've had in the past, like the races?
Pretty much everything, with the exception of, and I know you're going to hate this,
Oh, no.
but we have had to eliminate the outhouse races.
race. You knew that's where I was going with this, John.
Outhouse races, we got to looking at it. The outhouse has pretty well had it,
Seen better
and
days, huh?
it's dangerous. We just don't want anybody getting hurt.
Sure.
We're all there to have fun, not to put on Band-Aids. So
But you're having the corn eating contest, of course.
corn eating contest. They've got a new one. It's a cob tossing something. I'm not sure of how that works, but that's a new one to replace the outhouse. On Saturday morning, they're having the kiddie tractor pull.
Okay.
Like I say, there's something for everybody.
There is. And you have the entertainment. That's a big part of it. Free entertainment.
Free entertainment. First of all, it costs $10 to bring a whole carload. If you can get 20 people in your car, bring them. That's all it costs. There's no admission. So $10 parking.
And that's all that you guys are making off of it, is the parking.
Yes. We own the land that they're parking on, so it helps us tremendously. So you park your car, I lost thought of where we were.
Vehicle or whatever out in your lots.
Yeah, parking
that
in
way
our lot.
you're-
Everybody around's
'cause
got a parking lot that you can get into, but
But you guys get the funds, and that's what this is about.
Yes,
So instead of
exactly.
paying for the one across the street, help the nonprofit that's doing all the work and putting everything in this,
correct.
and pay that $10.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
I mean, because that's what is so important
You
about
know
it.
as much about
What is
this
the
as I
entertainment?
do.
I know, but I can never do it like you can, John. What is the entertainment for this year? We've got a
This
couple
year
of minutes
on
left.
Friday night, we have Jefferson Starship, and that's probably only going to register with some of the older people. We did that on purpose. We want to draw the older people in. And then on Saturday night, we have a young lady named Terry Clark.
Yes.
And if you look up any of her music, she's an up-and-comer. Last year we had Jason Neiman was going to be on, I think, Friday or Saturday. And they told us he's an up-and-comer. Well, he was going to hold his position. We found out that he took a contract for $150,000.
Oh,
So yeah, he's an
Yeah,
up and comer, all right. But anyway, we have both of those. Again, those are free to the public.
Right, yeah. And how can folks continue to follow you on Facebook, right?
On Facebook, yes.
Millersport Sweet Corn Festival. Does it have the schedule and everything on there? Probably.
Everything that's going on is on that website.
Okay.
And that again is sweetcornfest.com.
Okay, website, and then you've got Facebook as well. Alrighty, John, if anybody's got any questions, they want to make a donation or anything like that, what's the contact information?
Well, again, you can
Just go to the
go
website.
online. Yeah, go to the website and it'll tell you exactly how to do it.
Perfect, awesome. The dates. I didn't even ask you the date. Goodness, Tina.
It's September the 1st through the 4th.
First
So
to the 4th.
Yeah, that is Labor Day weekend. It's always the weekend before Labor Day,
All right.
and it runs through the 4th, and it runs 5 o'clock at night till 11 o'clock, Wednesday through Friday, and then on Saturday it starts about 9 o'clock with the 5K run,
Yep.
and it's over at 11 o'clock. We have a drawing.
Yes.
It's
you'll be drawing.
it's always been $10,000. That's another thing that we've had to ease back on. But this year it's a $5,000
Okay.
drawing, and that's $5,000 in cash. I can take it.
Yep.
One
yep.
size fits all.
There you go. That's right. Okay, starting off with the Grand Parade, which is all schools. The parade is nothing but the schools, right? And I know we're about out of time,
Yeah,
but
no
so
no
that's
political
always great.
entries at all.
No.
We don't get
Yep.
into that.
Yep.
All the schools that have sent us a girl for the Queen contest
Yep.
also have to have their band. So we have probably 20 some marching bands in our parade.
It's such a pleasant parade.
Most
every
parades you
year.
go to can't get 1 or 2 marching bands, so
And you have
we're very lucky at what we have.
awesome. Follow them, folks, on their website or on Facebook. John, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you,
the
Kim.
time to be here.
Appreciate
And I hope I see you at the Sweet Corn Festival. And we hope to see you at the Sweet Corn Festival as well. Folks, I'll be back in just a minute. We've got a very inspirational gal I'm excited to chat with. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area where the fountain is and the memorials and the flags and all the stuff. And we looked around and I said, there's our bank right there.
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have got Jodi Raneger. She is the Executive Director of Inspire, is what it is called. I'm so thrilled to hear about that because I think that there's so many inspirational people in this world, and she's definitely one of them. And then somebody who decided to crash the party today. I'm just kidding.
I did.
Sargent Castle from the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. No, he is here because they are a huge part of this event that is coming up, and I'm excited to find out all about it. But we're going to begin with Jodi first because Jodi, you and I saw this on social media. I think maybe it was last year, maybe later in the year. I don't remember when I saw it. That you were starting and planning an event.
Yes.
But of course, the whole COVID thing.
Yes.
Put like a lot of everything else on hold for that.
Yeah.
And that's what this is about, and we're going to talk about Inspire and what exactly it is and why you decided to bring that to the community.
Great.
What is Inspire?
So the Inspire Girls Leadership Foundation, we're a nonprofit organization that we started in 2018 with a focus on providing opportunities for the youth in our community and really supporting their needs. So our target population is girls in grades 5 through 8, because we know that is the critical age when girls' confidence levels begin to decline and social pressures begin to increase. And so we knew that that's an age in which maybe if we can come in and provide tools, resources, opportunities to connect, that we can hopefully set them on a different trajectory in life and help them grow and thrive in today's world. So that's sort of what our mission is with Inspire.
It's so much about value,
Yes.
and that is such an important time in their lives for them to realize what value they have within themselves.
Exactly.
I just love it.
And that's so much what it's
perfect.
about, is about
Perfect.
self-esteem education as well, because we know statistics like 7 out of 10 girls do not feel that they're good enough, whether it's in school, with their body image, in relationships, and we know a lot of that is a mindset. And so
Absolutely.
hopefully by providing opportunities such as this will help. And now on this other side of COVID, we know that pediatric and mental health needs for the youth has increased by 90%. So the need is more relevant now than ever. So that's what we hope to do through some of our programming.
Jodi, why did you decide to bring this to the community? For was it something you just felt and saw that there was a need in the youth,
Yes,
the girls?
working in public education as I do, and every day seeing our youth and interacting with them and seeing the needs, talking to parents and educators and just seeing it firsthand. And then I knew that a program like this could have impact. Thinking back to my time as a child and growing up and all through high school, knowing what mentors did to me and how they helped put me on a better path, I thought maybe something that we could do in our community here. I got to volunteer a few years ago at Michigan State University with a leadership program there that was designed specifically for girls. Susie Merchant, the head basketball coach of Michigan State University, started a program there out of the girl on her team actually had committed suicide, and it devastated the community. And they ended up starting a program very similar to what we're wanting to do here, to focus on girls' mental health issues. And I went up there and helped them for about 2 years, volunteered, and saw the impact it had on the girls attending, and all involved, and knew it was just a positive thing, and thought, what can we do to bring it back here to help the youth of our community as well? So we're sort of in motion. We, as you said, we were started with an event for April 2020, got canceled. So even that got paused. Our mission is still alive, and we're hoping to kick it off here in August.
And I hope so, because, well, you will with the event that's coming up, and then having something even bigger for down the road, because it is, I always say that it only takes one person to touch and affect somebody's life to completely change their life,
Exactly.
to have it better for them in the future. And,
Yes.
and it's really teaching them and showing them that they're valuable, because some kids, believe it or not, I know, go through their entire life without thinking that they're worth anything, because they were told it.
Right, exactly, it's learned.
Day in and day out.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they get to adulthood at 18, and they just are like, they were run down so much that they believe it.
Yes.
And it's just like, all you got to do is we got to just get it in them and say, hey, no, changing that mindset. So that's just a perfect way to say it. So what do you have coming up? Because this event is really, really huge, I think, for our girls. They need to know this. So I'm going to let you talk about it.
So we're starting off in August, trying to kick events off again and reintroduce ourselves back into the community with a self-defense, cyber safety education workshop. And we've sort of talked and collaborated with the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office on hosting an event that is on those topics, self-defense and cyber safety. So they have a great day planned. It's a half-a-day event at Thomas Ewing Junior High on August 7th. So I don't know if you want to share a little bit about what we got planned.
Well, we're going to break it up into 2 parts, the cybersecurity. So we're going to teach the cybersecurity while the other half is doing the self-defense class.
Okay, cybersecurity. Can you share a little bit about just that now, kind of just for folks to kind of get an idea of what you're talking about?
Just to teach them what the do's and don'ts when you're on the internet, and if someone's doing this, this is what you should do. So they don't have somebody take advantage of them or try to get their name or their address, or send them things that they shouldn't be sent.
Then big people realize that they can get that
especially in
information.
today's age.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then self-defense.
It's not going to teach you to be a kung fu master, like we talked about in our thing, but it is going to teach you self-awareness and self-preservation and what to look for when you're out by yourself and how to protect yourself.
Alrighty.
And Sheriff Lape is very excited about this class, and we're just proud to be part of it.
Jodi, do the girls need to sign up in advance? Are the moms or the parents going to be there to attend as well?
Yes, so what we have is the event, they'll register online. It is a free event, so this is a free
Perfect.
event for all girls grades 5 through 8, entering into grades 5 through 8.
All the schools of the county, any school at all? Okay.
Yes, 5 through 8. Register online. We've talked, and we do feel it is best if each participant brings an adult female with them, whether it's their mom, grandma, the guardian, older sister, to share in that learning experience. So then when they do go back home, they have that to talk about and continue the learning and reinforce the learning from that day. So registration will be online, so we'll link that out here soon.
Okay, so just they'll have to stay in touch with paying attention to Facebook? Do you have a Facebook
Yes,
page
we'll do it on
that
Facebook.
you'll
We
be
have a
able to
website.
reach?
Our website is Inspire Foundation. So
Okay.
we do have a unique spelling, inspirefoundation.com, and so all the information will be there and on
Alrighty.
our Facebook pages.
All righty.
Yeah.
Anything else that you wanted to share?
I think that's
we don't want
it.
to miss. I look forward for something for down the road
Yes,
as well.
we
in
are
the
going to
future.
host our main event that was canceled, in 2020. Will take place April 30th in 2022. So fingers crossed. 2022. It will take place at Bloom Carroll Middle School. It is a full-day event, and it will be for about 250 girls.
Okay.
So there'll be interactive workshops, and so we're looking forward to that event.
And that you'll have to register for.
You do have to register for that. There's a small fee, $25 fee for that, but that registration will open up here, in the fall.
But in the meantime, to introduce everybody to Inspire,
Yes.
we want you to go ahead and be there for coming up for this event. So
Yes.
Okay, so I'm excited. We've only got a couple of minutes, which I was paying attention there. So Jodi, I don't usually have an inspirational person of the month, but you are, and it fit perfectly because of Inspire. But you are such an inspiration. I saw what you were doing, like you said, about things before, and I was going, oh my goodness, this is so needed in the community. And it looked like it could have been, but it will be a big success as well as this one will be.
hope so.
At Thomas Ewing Junior High, you said is where that one's going to be.
Yes.
So a gift certificate to Ava Jewelers, and I've got a cute
thank
little happy
you.
mug, just because I know some people have so many mugs, but I love mugs,
Yes.
so I fearfully and
Wonderfully made.
because we all are fearfully.
Yes, we are.
And some teas in there, some de-stressor tea, not saying you are ever stressed, because you never seem like you're stressed. And of course some cookies. Thank
Great.
you so
Thank you
much
very
for
much.
doing what you do.
Thank you very much.
You're an inspiration
Great.
to so
Well,
many of us.
Well, I thank
just
you for
love
having us on your show, and we thank the Fairfield County Sheriff's
you.
Department office for being a part of this event with us.
Yes, and we put up with Sargent Castle. Why not? No, thank you so much for what you guys do at
Yes.
You're welcome.
the Sheriff's Department.
It's our
I'm glad
privilege.
that you got to make it. I am like, the more the merrier. Why not?
Right.
All right. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. When you come back, I've got a camping tip to share with you. And it's a camping tip because it's something that, of course, I experienced myself. That'll be back here in just a couple of minutes. You're watching the Down Home with Tina show.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Bloom Carroll Bulldogs.
It was a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up fourth down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you. The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
You've earned it.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. I also want to thank my business of the month, which is Century 21, Darfus Realty. And with my business of the month, they have a tip that they share. I call it a Tina tip, brought to you by my business of the month. There you go. Anyways, here's their tip for this week. Folks, if you want to continue watching Down Home with Tina, you can watch it anytime you want because I am on my Facebook page, Down Home with Tina. But also, if you have Spectrum 1021, you can watch it on that channel. And there's a YouTube channel. It's CLN, Your Hometown Connection. That is a new show out on for you each and every week. So folks, I have been doing some camping. Now some of you would think and call it glamping because it's in a camper. It's not really tent camping. I like to tell people I did plenty of my camping in a tent when I was in the military, and I was nasty, dirty, icky, gross throughout that time. I'm like, if I want to be nasty, dirty, icky, gross, then I will do some tent camping, and I will go out there and hopefully there will be a restroom close by. But I think I'm past the age of doing tent camping, so I camp in a camper. So I'm just going to give you my Tina's tip for camping. There's a whole lot of them that I could probably give you, but I'm going to tell you the number one. I'm going to give you two actually. Don't look for spiders in your camper, because when you're camping under a tree, there are going to be spiders, so don't look for them. Now, if you see one, of course, you do what you have to do. I do what I have to do, but I pretend that they're not there. But if they are, I'm ready for them. That way I can sleep at night, because otherwise I don't think even in a camper I could sleep at night. My next tip is going to be this. And this was just by chance, because camping recently in a camper, I was in the camper by myself because he was at work and the knob wasn't working in the bathroom. But I found out where the water shutoff valve was just a couple of days before this. Well, as I was turning my water off, the knob would go a little further than what it should be for the off part, so I'd bring it back to turn it off. Okay, so I brushed my teeth and all is well, and I go to turn the water off and the handle keeps going and the handle pops up. Guess what pops up out of the handle when the handle is off of this spigot? The water is coming shooting out. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? So I got a towel and I tried to put it on and I thought, the water source. If you ever go camping in a camper, I don't care if it's a new camper or not, just in case that should ever happen to you, know where the water turnoff is. Because instead of me having to take the time to make a phone call and be all frantic and try to figure out where it is, I already knew where it was because I remembered a couple of days ago, because there was a part of it that you would turn off for the hose. Yeah, so I cleaned up the water, I called the camping fixer-upper guy, and everything was well. By the end of the day, we had water. However, that's an important tip, I think. Know at all times where your water source is. I think that's all that I've got for you. Folks, I want to thank you so much for watching the Down Home with Tina show. I will be back with you next week. We've got some fun shows coming up. We're going to have Reese Shirey with me, and we're going to celebrate a big, huge feat that she has made. And I think you know who she is. If not, you'll just have to find out and watch the show in a couple of weeks. You're watching Down Home with Tina. I couldn't say weeks.